This world is a place of crimes, but what's worse than having young kids behind bars? Yes, in this world, there are a lot of troublemakers who have ruined their youth, doing some crime that set them handcuffed in orange jumpsuits. In this video, we will unveil the top 10 kids who have been in prison with some severe punishments due to the obligations imposed on them. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Roksana Sikoi. It was a day in 2016 when 17-year-old Roksana's life hung in a liminal space in the courtroom. However, the situation began in 2014 when a 15-year-old Roksana woke up at night with a horrible plan in her mind. She wanted to kill her younger brother to fulfill her sick desire of creating problems for his parents and family. It was later uncovered that an adult partner, Roksana's boyfriend, was in on it with her. The investigation revealed that the girl survived some severe medical issues and trauma at a younger age that caused her to act like this. However, her younger age and problematic medical history restricted the court from announcing a worse punishment for the criminal, so she was sentenced to 20 years in prison behind bars, which is also a lesson to not plan anything that can hurt people. Number 9. Barbeau. Another young criminal, Barbeau, is one of the two youngsters involved in the heinous crime of killing an elderly woman. This woman, Barbara Olson, was a 78-year-old great-grandmother who was killed badly with a hammer and hatchet. After a series of legal investigations for months and months, the court finally announced its decision for the criminal. Worst of all was the young boy was not guilty of his doing. However, his head fell on the table right at the moment the court announced 36 years of jail for the youngster. His action clearly showed how bad he was feeling about ruining his own life. The age of youth is certainly one of the most beautiful things in life. Number 8. Jessica Caroline. She was a 17-year-old girl who crashed her vehicle into the Wyoming Medical Center, causing a trail of destruction where two 27-year-olds died due to injuries that occurred in this collision. She pleaded guilty in front of the court with a heavy weight of sorrow on her shoulders. After deep investigation, the results causing the tragic death of two innocent people came up to be worse than we thought. The investigators found an air duster can inside the car. Later, she admitted that she was under the influence of the chemicals that made her dizzy at the time of the accident. It was further confirmed that she was going over the speed limit without even wearing her seatbelt. However, considering all the results of this tragic accident, the court announced 12 to 16 years of jail for her. Number 7. Bever Brothers. It is an incident that happened in 2015 in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, when the two brothers of the Bever family killed all 5 members of their family. An investigation revealed that 2 courageous girls survived the attack. The younger girl imposed allegations on her brothers, an 18-year-old Robert and a 16-year-old Michael, as the criminals for this horrific act of murder. This critical act of revealing the actual killers helped the court to give justice to the Bever family. However, the 2 brothers acted strangely during their sentence in court. When they were asked the purpose of this heinous atrocity, they revealed their intense desire to become serial killers. Considering the sensitivity of the matter, the court sentenced them to life behind bars. Number 6. Sierra Halseth. A 16-year-old guilty was standing in the courtroom in 2021 with her 18-year-old boyfriend Aaron Guerrero. As their crime revealed, Halseth killed her father following horrific planning along with her boyfriend. The lovers used a sharp knife to stab Halseth's father and took his vehicle to run away from the justice that was to follow them. Fortunately, both were handcuffed for the crime they committed in cold blood. The court sentenced them to 22 years behind bars, which weighed too heavily upon the guilty criminals. However, the weight of their acts will keep pressuring them for their whole life. This incident leaves us all in deep thought. How can somebody be so cold and cruel? Number 5. Philip Chism. A school is a place of wonder and liveliness, but who knows? The students studying there can have evil planning going on in their minds. A 14-year-old, Philip Chism, appeared in court for the senseless deed of killing his own math teacher, Colleen Ritzer. When the court was just about to announce the punishment for this savage crime, the defense team tried to present a mental illness narrative that was strictly rejected by the court. He was punished with a life sentence with a chance of release after 25 years. He was also punished with 40 years of jail for the cruelty and robbery accounts he faced. Still, Philip didn't show any guilt or any other emotion that left the courtroom surprised. Number 4. James Fairweather. A 15-year-old with a desire to be recognized as a serial killer ended up taking the lives of 2 innocent people. James Otfield was the first victim of his violent attacks. He killed this innocent person in 2014. The same year, 3 months later, he attacked a Saudi girl studying at the University of Essex. He was captured in 2015 when he was plotting his 3rd attack. Despite his useless arguments defending himself, the court sentenced him to 25 years of jail due to his violent attacks on innocent people. At the time of the jury, it didn't seem like he felt bad about what he did, but his punishment made him realize the intensity of the matter. Number 3. Nehemiah Griego. Nehemiah Griego was 15 years old when he conducted a horrific deed that shattered the foundation of his whole family. He killed his parents and 3 siblings in response to his inner agony and dislike for his mother. When he got caught, the court delayed the decision until he reached an adult age. After a few years, he again appeared in court at the age of 19. He confessed his crime in front of the jury. He had to spend at least 30 years in jail before being eligible for release. The story of Nehemiah leaves the world in a deep state of shock. It also reveals how the human psyche can affect actions and cause evils in the mind. Number 2. TJ Lane. The 17-year-old TJ Lane was a student at Chardon High School. He committed the violent deed of killing 3 students at the same school and injuring 3 others. All of them survived mentally and physically. Not only them, but their families also went through the traumatic experience of their kid's death at a very young age. When Lane was brought to court, he wasn't guilty of his actions. In fact, he presented insulting statements towards the victims' families. Keeping in view the intensity of the matter, the court sentenced him to life behind bars. Number 1. Petri Kurti. Petri Kurti was UK's youngest criminal when he stabbed a girl at the age of 13. A series of investigations reported that another kid named Zohad Masheed was equally involved in this violent act of killing an innocent life. The whole incident was reported in CCTV footage, which is evident proof of both boys killing a girl. The court sentenced Kurti to 12 years of jail and Masheed to 10 years of imprisonment. The court mentioned that the boy's parents failed to recognize the seriousness of his acts, transferring blame to others and adding to his willingness to accept responsibility for his crimes. It worsened the whole matter. Knowing these violent and savage murders might be shocking. However, these acts of brutality show how a human can behave unexpectedly due to some evil or trauma in their mind. The matter can only be controlled if parents pay full attention to their kids, what they are suffering through, what makes them act in a certain way, and more. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next time, take care.